here to talk about the GEA UWS season opener tomorrow. And then we're also going to chat a little bit about kind of what things hold for his future and the future of the GEA UWS going forward and where we see things going for this season and beyond. So Marcus, thanks for joining me. I know you're running around really busy with everything going on, and we'll get to that at the end of this this preview. But first, let's talk about the GEA UWS team. I was able to make it to the second of 3 exhibitions against the Gretna Elite Academy ECNL All-Stars, where the All-Stars played a really good game like we had talked about.
Yep.
Obviously, the UWS team was very clinical in front of goal.
Yep.
But what did you get, or what have you gleaned from the first 3 exhibitions about this year's GEA UWS team?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, I mean, we're deep, and we have a lot of good players. I mean, I think, historically, my time in the league has shown that, the franchises who have, solid, who have really solidified a really deep bench are the ones that can last throughout the duration of a season. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, with us, I mean, I don't think we're just, 12 or 13 deep from a talent pool perspective. I mean, I think we're going to have an incredibly hard time, and we already have had with tomorrow's game and trying to figure out which 18 kids are going to play. I mean, we've got a pretty solid squad, a lot of talented kids. Obviously there's some things, throughout the course of the season that would keep them from playing if it's being out of town or prior commitments. But, for us, I mean, on any given day, we could have 2 starting 11s, in my opinion. And I think that's something that's really kind of stood out to me.
Yeah, I mean, when even in the exhibition game, they were giving equal time, when you sub off Reg and Robbie and bring on Prokop, that's just the definition right there.
Okay.
I guess getting into the attackers a little bit, I think one thing that was very interesting to me, and maybe you could speak on this, having seen some of these players play and progress, whether you coached them or just saw them in the community. I found it interesting to see the changes in 2 players, and specifically in Lindsay Prokop and Hannah Davis, who, when they were younger, high school players, were known for speed, and they've developed their game a little bit more for one reason or another. Can you speak on that too, or what different growth you've seen from other players, maybe where maybe what you saw in high school is not what you're going to be getting in at the UWS team level?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Hannah, I mean, I think it's just down to, I mean, she's obviously a little bit older. She's obviously had some knee problems that she continues to battle. And, I think for her, she's had to probably shape her game a little bit differently, just because maybe she's not quite as explosive as she once was. I mean, she's still obviously an electric and attacking player, and a kid that I just have so much time for. I mean, I think Hannah's a great player and a great kid. But she certainly had to kind of mold her game to be more of a drop into the pocket, get the ball, not always looking to get in behind all the time. Prokop, I didn't coach her in club soccer, but I think with her, I think she's capable of beating players off the dribble. I mean, she got a little bit of an ankle issue that she got from our first inter squad scrimmage. So I think she was battling that a little bit in the All-Star game, and even with the boys. We're hopeful that she'll be fully fit. But Prokop still got that burst, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, when you've got Regan Robbie and Skylar Heinrich next to you, I mean, that's I mean, they'll make most track runners look slow. So
and then you have players like Rylan Childers feeding the ball. I mean, that was the one thing, and she was the player of the game for us, or for me, during the second exhibition. And I'll tell you, watching Rylan and Regan play together as in that number 9 and number 10 role was I mean, there could have been more goals just because they were like half a second off a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, listen, and we didn't even have Skylar for 2 of the 3 friendlies. I mean, and Skylar's obviously, with her transfer situation, she's been making some visits and stuff. And I mean, listen, I mean, can you imagine a front line of Skylar Heinrich, Regan Robbie, Rylan Childers playing underneath, Maddie Weichel? I mean, and that's where I'm going. Going with this. I mean, we have a lot of attacking options. I think I think if it's, I mean, we're going to score a ton of goals if the coaches don't screw this up, right? So
No,
it's
no pressure to Vazzy and Mitch.
yeah, no pressure, guys.
um, I think the one thing that was, and it's something that I should have known, knowing the roster and knowing the players on it, but this is also a team that's going to be hard to stop on set pieces. Obviously, you have you get some great servers of the ball, but you also have someone like Emma Wilson, who is an absolute problem on pretty much any set piece in the box.
Yeah.
Do you expect her to continue to just be on the receiving end of goals through set pieces throughout this summer?
Yeah. I mean, Emma's a beast in the box. I mean, I think she's a beast in both boxes, right? I mean,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
she's gonna score goals for us on one end. She's gonna clear balls out of our defensive box on the other end. So yeah, I mean, Emma's gonna be great. I think Jalen Armstrong, Jalen Bozak, I think they can score.
Yep.
Bovey is a beast in the box too. We haven't seen her much, but she can certainly score. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, we've worked hard. I think tomorrow will be a big day for us. I'm looking forward to kind of hearing how that goes. Obviously, I'm in Dallas, so I'm going to miss the home opener, but they're in good hands, and we've worked hard, and I think we've got a great squad of players, and I think they're looking forward to getting a real game. I think they've had enough exhibitions, so.
Yeah, I know that in talking to Rylan off air before we had the post game interview, I think you could just tell that they love the level of training. It's been super high. I think they've liked the exhibitions, but I think they're ready. All of them are at the level that they're at because they're super competitive young women. So
Yep.
that it's not they want to play teams that aren't themselves and play games that matter. We've
Yep.
talked a little bit about it in a past show, but what are your expectations of our the region, the conference that the GEA team is competing in, starting off with KC Courage, which is really a big game starting off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I think listen, Kansas City's 2-1 or something like that, or 3-1. I think they're 3-1. They played half their schedule already. I mean, I think they beat Springfield, they beat St. Louis, they lost FT Wichita, so maybe they're 2-1. But I mean, listen, I mean, Wendy's team has experience. We played them previously with WPSL, and she has a solid team. And I know she's added some good additions, and she's added a new staff coach, which I think is she was excited about. I mean, I think, I mean, listen, I think as long as we go into the game and we play to our capabilities, I think we're going to be a very, very difficult game for anybody.
Right.
I think teams are going to have a really hard time, dealing with not only our starting group but the quality we have coming off the bench. UWS rules are a little bit different. Once you're out, you're out. There's no reentry. You have 7 substitutions, so that even makes our bench even that much more important, right? I mean, most people when they're getting into their 16th, 17th, 18th player on most of these squads, I mean, they're not that the players aren't going to be of high quality, but there's certainly going to be somewhat of a drop off for most. For us, I mean, that's really not the
It,
case. I mean,
it,
I think that's
it's not just going to be a hard decision who to start. It's going to be a hard decision of the 7 players that get to sub in to the game.
yeah, 100%.
I
I mean,
mean, it's a good problem, but it's gonna be a problem no matter what.
yeah, no, we're gonna have to manage it. But again, we were very clear to our players coming into the season that listen, we work extremely hard in the off season to be able to raise the sort of money that's necessary to fund a franchise like this. And, we don't do this for any other reason other than to provide our players with a great developmental opportunity over the summer. We do it to embetter them before they head back into their college preseason. That's the goal, right? And we also do it to provide those that want to have professional, opportunities outside of college, that opportunity. I mean, you look at players like Meg Brandt and Jalen Bozak and those guys. I mean, those girls had professional contracts and now they're
Mhm.
back, and so we want to provide that. So for us, we told them from day one, this is a competition. This is like your collegiate environment, your professional environment. You're going to earn your place in the lineup. You're going to earn your place in the starting 11. You're going to earn your ability to travel. You're going to earn your minutes. And I think, listen, I mean, the cream rises to the top, right? And I think it's one of those things where these players have worked hard, and the players you see tomorrow are going to be the players that have really done a great job. And there's going to be some players that are not in that 18 that have done a great job too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there certainly will be, but I think the team we put out tomorrow is going to be one that could win a UWS national championship. I mean, I will go as far as saying that I think that is a possibility if we can continue to progress and get this team acclimated with one another.
Yeah, and I think, before we jump into where you're headed, you kind of talked about the environment that the UWS and GEA is providing its athletes. GEA is doing a lot of cool things. Whether it's doing the coverage that we have with the live stream and the show and some other content that Aaron Hogue is putting together for highlights and stuff. But then it's also player development stuff like neurotrainer. um, who are some other individuals on staff who are helping, keep the players safe, develop them as soccer players, but also as all around athletes and keeping them healthy?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Grant Johannes is a rock star. He's been with me for a long time. He's the master of his trade. The guy played at Indiana. I mean, he knows soccer. I mean, he grew up playing in an MLS academy. So I mean, I think
It doesn't get better than that. Someone who's a strength coach, I shouldn't say strength coach, a performance coach like himself, who's played at a high level that we have in our community, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Grant's really taken ownership of that. I mean, he's looking at the periodization of the players, what's too much, what's not enough. There's a lot of communication too. I mean, these are young women. I mean, they're not young kids, right? So it's, they're honest. I mean, they've been in the college environment, and for them, if they need a little bit of a break, if they're feeling legs are heavy, I mean, it's not only something that we pick up on as soccer professionals, but it's also something that they know that they can openly have dialogue about. So, I think the players have enjoyed the environment thus far. I think that they're excited to get the season ready. I mean, listen, the season goes by quickly. I mean, think about it. By Sunday, we would have played 3 of our 5 games.
Yeah.
So by next Sunday, we'll play 5 of our 8. So I mean, you're talking about a very, very quick season, and so they're going to come fast. They're going to come furious, and hopefully we win more than we lose.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we want to say. And like, these shows are going to come fast and furious, because hopefully we do pregame and in between games with some highlights and stuff that we can bring to everyone.
Yep.
But moving forward, because there's been some changes, and I think it's important to talk about, and
Sure.
because it affects GEA UWS, but it's also someone like yourself moving from the Omaha community. What For those who don't know yet,
Yeah.
you and your family are moving to Dallas to pursue an opportunity for your son, if you want to speak on that, but also just an opportunity for your family in general. I don't know if you want to expand on that as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, listen, I mean, I think it's pretty, pretty straightforward. I mean, there's been, for years we've been coming to the Dallas area, and my son has been playing with FC Dallas on occasion and being evaluated, and about, I don't know, in early March or whatever, he got evaluated and got a unique opportunity to go to Spain and play in the Easter Cup with the 2011 MLS Next team from FC Dallas, and it's a great group, and he's going to go there. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity for a kid that is not only talented but is very committed. And anybody that knows him and knows our family, and we do a lot of soccer, and for him, it's an excellent opportunity. I mean, heck, 2 days after he gets there, they play a closed door game against Real Madrid. So I mean, it's certainly
That's different.
yeah. So I mean, so my wife and him are going to head down there, and after bringing him back and forth, I mean, he got invited to to have a more significant kind of role. And I mean, listen, and shortly after that, I was provided a really unique and special opportunity here as an ECNL director. And listen, I think we're excited about the move. I mean, we're sad to leave Omaha. We've got friends, we've got family. I mean, I've worked tirelessly along with others to advance women's soccer, and I just hope that the time that I spent there did that, and I would like to think it did, and that I played a part in that, and I'm excited to see what others can do in the future. And I mean, listen, it's not goodbye, it's I'll see you soon. That's what I like to tell everybody. So yeah, just a new adventure for us and our family, and but it's yeah, it's one of those things where in life, there's new adventures, and we felt like this is a fun one to take on as a family. So
Absolutely. And for those, I've gotten to have a few interactions here and there with your son, and I mean, soccer. I don't even think Soccer Junkie rightfully describes him, because
yeah,
it's just like he's soccer all the time, and like by his own volition, and it's so cool, because he just, if he's, it's it's a very cool thing, and obviously this is something that is going to be excellent opportunity for him, and
Sure.
you're moving on to an excellent opportunity down there as well, which obviously we'll see
Yeah.
you later because GEA being an ECNL squad, we'll see you at the national events. So um,
Yeah, for sure.
obviously it surprised some players. I remember uh, Jalen Armstrong was surprised because you've been her coach in some capacity through most of her like formative life. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, we're really happy for you at GEA, and I think the Omaha community is very happy for you and your family. And obviously, you'll be missed. And I know your wife April, who's a high school coach at Papillion, will be missed as well. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, for
but
sure.
but I know you have to get rolling, so I'll let you go, and we'll look forward to tomorrow's game. It'll be streaming on my Cujo. Uh, so make sure to tune in. We'll be putting that link out on social media for everyone to watch. So Marcus, thanks for joining us, and I'll let you go.
Hey, Judd, one more thing
Yes.
before we jump off. I do want to just quickly highlight the coaching situation. I mean, I think we're really fortunate. We've got a great staff. I mean, Alex Vasquez has been here for a long time. Grant Johannes has been here for a long time. Rex is returning. Sarah Simpson, God bless her. This wouldn't be
She's
possible without
awesome. Yeah,
Sarah.
she's awesome.
She's she's incredible.
Yeah.
I think the addition of you and Aaron has been so awesome. You guys do such a fabulous job. You invest in this. I mean, what you're doing for women's soccer and youth soccer in general, Joe, with the social media and all that, I can't speak highly enough of that. There needs to be something like that in our community that speaks about soccer and at its core and doesn't have any bias. And I think Mitch is gonna do a great job. He's been a great asset. So, with me in the coaching situation, I mean, listen, I mean, even last year, Vazzy took on a lot because of my ECNL responsibilities. I mean, I've always considered myself, yes, I coached the team, and yes, I coached these players for a long, long time, most of them, but I've always almost considered myself as a general manager that happens to coach when I can, just because I'm generally in charge of putting the roster together and obviously, creating all of the platforms, within it. And if I'm at a game, obviously I'll coach. I mean, that's who I am to my core. But, I think with my departure to Dallas, I mean, I've been there with the UWS this whole time and obviously we'll be there all, in the coming weeks too. But, I think this team has got a bright future. They've got an excellent leader in Vazzy and Mitch. They've got a great support staff with you, Aaron, Grant, Rex, Sarah. The future's bright, and I just want to thank
And
you so much, Joe. You're
yeah.
you're such a positive influence in what we're trying to do and a great spokesman for soccer. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree. I am surrounded by a lot of good people. I was just talking to Rex. Rex reminds me of myself when I was first started getting into coaching, just excited and like willing to do whatever anything. So like,
Yeah.
he's a guy that I'm excited that we have on board, and I'm excited. The other thing I'm excited about too, and want to thank people before we sign off too, is thank you for the people who have tuned into the games and came to the Papillion Landing to watch. I think we've had almost 1,000 views or something on the MyCujo,
Yeah.
and we had several hundred individuals turn up at every exhibition game. So that's really cool and exciting that we have that going on, and hopefully the stuff that we're doing and I'm doing and everyone else is doing can continue to build this. So I appreciate the kind words, and I know you're busy, so I don't want to keep you too long, but
No, you're good.
tomorrow kickoff 6 p.m.
Let's
Papillion
go.
Landing. Make sure you tune in if you can't get there. There's no charge at the door, just donation if you'd like to. It's going to be a
Yep.
beautiful day. Come out and support some excellent young women. I mean, they're such a fun team to watch. Like if you want to watch the highest level of women's soccer in our area, and I'm talking, when I say in our area, I mean truly in like a 3 to 5 hour driving area. Like unless you're going to go down to Kansas City and watch the professional team,
It's at
you're
the
going to want
landing.
to you want to come to Omaha, come to Papillion Landing. So, all
Sure.
right, Marcus, have a good rest of your night, and we will talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Joe, for having me.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.